So, you'd never done it back home, even though you come from New York, the home of...
Well, think about it. In New York, do you need another New York Jewish comic? I mean, you can't throw a cap without hitting one. So no, it wasn't, I always wanted to, but I never did until I came here. And even then I put it off as something I just wanted to do. And it is painful. I mean, we all know, because everybody in here is a comic, it is painful. You go through a lot of grief doing it, so, yeah.
How did she talk you into doing it? How did you get up? What was the... Did you need Dutch courage? Did you...
She's large-breasted. I had trouble saying no. No, really. She just... No, she made me... She's just said, I have trouble. I need everybody to like me. And she wanted me to do this, so I did. And it was good. It wasn't bad. It was a very supportive group. All the other ones, the people I worked with in those days have gone on to bigger and better things. Billiton Brothers, Carl Barron, all these names, everybody's heard of. Akmal Sally, Darwin Saunders, they all gone on to bigger and better things.
Do you remember your first joke?
It was about...
Well, you admit to your first joke.
It was about being a school teacher, I still use it occasionally. No, seriously. It was, because I used to be a teacher, and I taught in the cabinet area, all that's true. And I taught for 18 years, and the Asian kids were starting to come in. My first joke was, most people think that cabinet is mostly Asian, and it's true, but there were 83 different cultures. Everything so far is true. I said, I learned a lot from this. I learned it doesn't matter if the child has black skin, or white skin, or yellow skin. It doesn't matter where a child is from. All children are fucking stupid. And that was the first joke. It doesn't have to be big laughs. It's the first one. It got better. I've got third line of stuff that would make you piss yourselves.
What brought you to Australia in the first place?
Teaching. I came out here for 2 years in 1976.
And just...
Not good at maths. No, I stayed then another 2, then 3. Then if you wanted to teach in New York State, which is where I wanted to teach, you needed to get a master's degree. I never wanted to sit in a classroom again. I was really bad at it. I'm ADD, which I didn't find out till I was 58. Up until that's true, I swear. I did not know I was ADD. I just thought I was stupid because people were more than glad to tell me that. But I had trouble sitting in class. By the time I would have gone for a master's, the only reason I got through college was because you're allowed to smoke. So I would smoke a pack of cigarettes. In those little, remember those little aluminum, or as we used to call them there, aluminum ashtrays. So I used to smoke constantly, chain smoke, and that's how I got through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, there was a time when you were teaching...
Yeah, go on.
What did you about?
Nothing. I was being
No, tell me.
I was being funny. I was being sardonic.
Oh, okay. I thought I was about to uncover something. No.
Oh, my teaching career ended up in court, if that's what you're aiming for. That's true, too.
We're going to get there. We're going to go that.
Okay, fine. I'm proud
disabled
of that.
Kids.
I'm proud of that. I won that court case.
Disabled kids? Underprivileged?
No, not... Yes, and I won because they couldn't get up the stairs.
No, separate story. Did you work with disabled children?
They just seemed that way, but no.
Or were they the people later on?
No, these were normal kids, if there is such a thing.
What was the court case about?
I was being victimized by a principal. In fact, this is how I met this woman here. She was anorexic at the time, but she's overcome that. No, she was the secretary at the law firm where my case went to.
Okay.
And what the case was being victimized by a principal, and I really wanted this in the podcast because I took him to court, and I should have won, and I did win. And the two things they said that were really important to me was, yes, the judge's thing, Ms. Meisel I believe Ms. Meisel has been treated unfairly, and the other thing was the judge wrote, I cannot accept the evidence being given by the principal, which is, to me, a legalese way of saying, this guy's lying, which is what I've been saying all along.
Yeah.
So that was nice, and then they now, for years, and they still do, but I'm old, no, it doesn't matter, they pay me not to teach. So I get to get up in the morning, watch my wife go to work. It's a rainy day, I pretend I'm sleeping, because she gets grumpy.
Your job is exactly the job I don't want.
You don't?
I don't want it. I want to not be doing the same job you're not doing.
You don't want, I'm sorry, there are a lot of negatives in here. What job? Professional sleeper? What?
Yeah, no. I want to be the professional sleeper.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
doing the job that you're
Then
doing.
you have to go to teacher's
But
college.
for money.
Get an idiot
I'm a
program.
professional sleeper,
Yeah.
but no one's paying me.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Well, kids, stick with me. No, they pay me to do that.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that way I only get to do, good gigs. If I work in a room where somebody doesn't pay me, it doesn't matter that much.
Ladies and gentlemen, exit by donation. Do you ever encounter the kids that you taught at gigs?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do they react to you?
They're very good. Some of them get a little embarrassed because it's funny because I always want to say the word fuck in front of them, like shut the fuck up, but you can't. But when you do comedy, you can. No, they're very good. I get along really well with a lot of ex-pupils. Some of whom would, if I met them now, would scare the crap out of me. If I didn't, I mean, really. But no, I was a much better teacher than comic. No, don't argue, really, it's okay.
I actually like the fact that you've raised that issue. I've always felt that taking the stage is like taking a classroom. Like if you have that relief teacher and you smell fear, she's lost the class. You're bouncing off the ceiling, you're hanging off the ceiling fan, whatever. If you're a comic and you take the stage and the audience smells fear, you've lost the game. So
yeah, yes, I'm well aware of that.
What other comparisons could you draw?
Well, I used to run out of material about 1/4 April, and that was always a problem. I was really proud of I taught mostly 5th, sometimes 4th and 6th, but I taught them, they all got sarcasm by the end of it. So when another kid asks a stupid question, you hear like 29 other kids going, no, and have some smart-ass answer. And I was very proud of that. Sure, they couldn't read or write or anything, but it was...
Now, the material that you're legendary for includes found objects such as the ladder for the canary cage.
Really? I'm not familiar with it.
None of us are.
Yes.
At what stage did that material develop for you?
Sadly, the best material that ever came up was about 1995.
Yeah.
Seriously. And people always use that stuff, but those are the other comics who, when they get good material, eventually will feel protected this way.
I'm not going to try to laugh.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often.
How do you feel when, and this has happened, I know this has happened because I've had discussions with people, how do you feel when someone discovers the Happy Feet colouring in book and wants to do that routine?
I know you're talking about Reese, and he stopped doing it. I thought it was very nice. No, with comedy, there's going to be parallel thinking. There is. But there's certain things, like I've had to drop material that other people have done, which I thought was mine. It just happens. I mean, I guess somebody has it first. You do the right thing by them and go, yeah, I came up with it myself, but somebody had it first.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll do that for me for the rest of my life.
How many copies of that 101 Dalmatians colouring book do you actually have? I refuse to believe that you have the original still.
I do have the original still, with about 20 others. No, this story was in Hertzville, in a news agency. And I saw it there, and I was thinking, 101 Dalmatian coloring book. Please, God, let there be nothing to color in. I open it, and I mean, you people see my act, or those people who have seen my act. I show 3 pages. There are about 50 pages in there of nothing to do, page after page. So I'm looking at it, and I go, oh my God. So I go back in and I buy all of them. So what I picture is, the people who do marketing, they're going to go looking at all the news agencies. How many sold? None. South Thursville, 20. None, and all the others, because I bought every single one. And I knew it was going to be funny, because my wife's English. I brought it home, and I showed it to her, and she said, that's not funny. And I knew it was onto something. This is charming, right? I'm being charming still, because I've had too many to drink. Go on.
Now that's kind of quite normal that people close to you don't
don't think you're as funny as the people that you actually make laugh.
Close, medium distance, far away of the country. Well, yeah. But yeah, no, my wife says I don't find it funny at home or on stage.
Yeah.
Which are the only two places I ever am.
When you were a teacher, did you make the kids laugh?
Yes.
Intentionally?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sorry, we don't have time for reading today. I'm doing a routine. I'm working on something funny. No, I like to think I haven't made them laugh.
Had a good rapport with them.
I have a great rapport.
Yeah.
So seriously, I'm really good at this, honestly.
So you teach comics as well. I mean, it's the two things you've done is teaching and comedy, and you.
Oh God, that's my whole life in a sentence. Yes, that's correct.
How do you find that? I mean, can comedy be taught?
Up to a point, because you can teach it as a science, but it's an art.
Yeah.
So you can teach certain things, and it cuts about 2 or 3 years off the process. So all these mistakes that all of us made starting out, you can help to sort of eliminate that by going, don't do this, don't do that, learn the rules, but when you know the rules, then you can break them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I enjoyed that a lot, and a lot of people have gone on to bigger and better things, who've actually made careers out of it. I resent that.
How do you feel when people that you started out with, or people who, started out 20 years after you or whatever, start to, like we all run our own races at our own speed.
Great. I'm so happy for them and their success. That's wonderful. I couldn't be happier.
But you are a genuinely decent person.
Yes,
you don't
yes.
seem to have that deep-seated resentment of other people's
Look, I
success.
turned 63 in less than a month. What's my 10-year plan? To be breathing. That's all I care about. Because I don't need to do it as a living, it can be fun. I can have a good time doing it. I don't have to worry about getting gigs or paid gigs. I hate the word gigs. Jobs. I don't have to worry about that. That was one of the things I taught in the class. Keep your day job as long as you can, because otherwise you're going to be in real trouble. I mean, think about it. Unless you're like an Akmal Sally or Carl Barron doing a lot of corporates, or the cruises or something. Let's say you're doing the comedy rooms and you're getting your headlining. You're doing $200 gigs, jobs, 5 days a week. It's $1,000. So that'll be $50,000 a year. And that's if you get 5 days a week. Who the hell gets that?
Yeah.
Who the hell gets that? So yeah. But it doesn't affect me. No, if anyone is successful, I'm thrilled with that. Because 95% of the people I meet are really nice people in the business. They're very supportive. They're very nice to me. I try to be nice to them. So yeah, I'm very happy with that.
Tell me about the 5% who are cunts.
I would, but he's here.
I wasn't serious. I was just
No, I know. There are very few. There are some who, when they get to the next level, all of a sudden look down at you. And then as they come back down to earth, they're nice again. But, no, that's the few. There's certain arrogance in some or so forth. But I said 95 is probably more. I can't think of very many comics I don't actually have a real warmth for.
Okay, that's nice to know.
Yeah. I tried. I wrote that out earlier.
When, early on, I remember that you were doing corporate gigs because, I interviewed you back in, 1906 or something, and when we were both
still old, yeah.
Was it easier to get corporate gigs back then?
Yeah, well, the economy's better than the corporate gigs. There are also a lot more comics now.
That's what I was leading to. How are you finding
both of them? Look, if you run a company, where can you cut back? Nobody's going to go, oh my God, our company's going to collapse if we don't hire a comedian.
Yeah.
And so that's part of it. I don't like doing corporate comedy. If you're there all by yourself, it's not fun. It's a job. You come to this room, the Shannon, and it's fun. I like doing this. So that's another thing. But there's a lot less now. I found when I did corporate, it was good if I was introduced as an actual speaker. Like the last one I did, or the best one I ever did was with State Rail. And I was lucky because they were having all those crashes. So I was blessed. But they introduced, instead of introducing me as now we have a stand-up comic, they introduced me as, somebody with a PhD at so-and-so from Northwestern University. So the bar was lower. Plus, the last thing they showed was a film. And I don't know why they showed this film. It was about driving in England, where they kept showing deaths and people dying. Please, let's make welcome me. But what got me about this film was they said that 95% of the people who drive in England think they're good drivers, which means 5% don't, but they're driving anyway. I find that funny. Not as funny as obviously should have been, but
Sorry, I thought there was more to come. I was imagining.
Now you sound just like my wife.
I was imagining English people dying, so this is last. The fact that you've never been doing this as a stepping stone to breakfast radio or the chat show,
Getting up that early.
has that helped? I mean, was there a time when you saw this as a stepping stone for something, or was it always just a hobby?
I would have liked to. I wouldn't mind having a radio show. I'd mind. How nice of me. No, I'd love to have a radio show. I'd love to have a TV show. I'd love to be a panel. I'd like to be doing this all the time. Mm-hmm. I'd like people to interview me for a living. I like when it's all about me.
Yeah.
The rest of you remember that.
Has it helped though? Or were you passionate about that? Was that?
No, I've never been passionate about anything. No, since teaching, I've never been passionate about anything. This is fun. I enjoy it. But no, if I never did another, I would miss not doing it. But I would miss more doing rooms like this than the Comedy Store, if that should ever happen.
Sorry, if that should ever happen again.
Again, thank you. Yeah, I was hoping somebody would help. Yeah, I would miss it. This is fun. I like this.
You said that you haven't been passionate about anything since you were teaching. Do you miss teaching?
I did in the beginning. I don't anymore. I don't anymore. It's a hard job. A lot of people don't realize that. It's very difficult. Apparently, it's gotten worse. But no, I really enjoyed that. I've got ex-pupils that are grandparents, and seriously, and no, I was in touch with a lot of them, and yeah, no, I'm very lucky with that, and I was lucky to win. It would have been very different if I hadn't won the court case, but winning it was very, very important to me.
I know it's a rude question, but was there a lot of money involved? Well, there was, because you've had the job where you don't have to work, and they pay you.
There was a lump sum, which wasn't as much as it should have been. That's just one of those things, but I didn't do it for that.
No, obviously.
And then they started to pay me not the same salary, but they paid me, as I said, not to teach, and not nearly as much, maybe half, I don't know what it is, but that was okay.
So was the fact that you could do nothing kind of a hindrance to actually sitting down and writing comedy? Like, what did you do during the day when you first had that freedom? I'm not having a go. I'm just it's a minute to dream job.
Have a go. Well, as you know, I've quoted before the study of the Journal of Medicine. It says that masturbation prevents prostate cancer. So I spend a lot of my day protecting my health. But after that, no, I edit other people's movies. Yeah, don't laugh out loud, whatever you do. God forbid somebody say it's funny.
The worst thing you did just then was put that image in people's heads. I'm sorry. That's what I'm
That's the worst thing? God, I've got news for you, buddy. My screensaver is saran wrap around the computer screen. But that's another point. How's that going to get worse? He's laughing, folks. You just can't hear him because one of those silent laughers, which is fine on TV, but this isn't.
Does someone else want to ask a question while I catch my breath? Anyone got a question for Peter?
Yeah, now that we've talked about masturbation, anybody? Really, Matthew?
How would you describe, do you have a gig where you say, this is my best gig that I did?
That's a good question. What is your best
gig? We should have thought of it. Best gig ever? I'm not sure. Probably, there've been some that, because I've been doing 22 years, there's some, when they go off, and the audience goes with you, And they go, okay, even if you're not funny all the time, oh God, I hate to say there's one really good one at the Laugh Garage. But when it goes off, it's the best thing ever. It's just, they come along on a ride, and even if you're not funny, because sometimes it can be a great gig, but you're sticking to your material, and it's hard work.
It was just the one.
Still one more than you. Fine. Come on, you 6'4". No, when it goes well, and everybody in here who's a comic knows this, when it goes well, it's just fantastic. It's the best. It's better than sex.
I've got to say,
of course, I spend a lot of time during the day doing that too.
my favourite gigs watching you and other people and my own are the ones where you've walked out and the audience has made a decision before you've opened your mouth, and you've had to work hard, but you've proven them wrong by the end of it. I've seen you do that a number of times, because I'm sorry, they look at you and think one thing.
Yes, they do. I'd settle that one thing, but it's usually worse. Yeah,
I rest my case.
So I thought I answered that. You did? Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. How are we going for time?
Bored already with me, eh?
25 minutes.
Were we going? What were we going for?
2 hours? 3 hours?
What essential question haven't I asked you yet?
I think you've done it. Again, when did we do this? 15 years ago you interviewed me?
Yeah.
I think you do a great job in interviewing. I think you cover pretty much everything. Yeah, no, I think I can't think of anything you haven't. You haven't. Oh, Darren?
Have you ever wanted to further comedy outside of Sydney, to Melbourne and Brisbane and things like that? What stopped you doing that?
I used to have agoraphobia, but I got over that. But I know I did New York recently, New York Comedy Club. I've done Melbourne once. I've never done Brisbane. Nobody's ever asked me.
But why have you not sort of travelled a bit and seen what the other open mic rooms are like? I mean, there are good circuits in other.
Well,
comparatively.
there's no point in going to Brisbane and Melbourne to do open mics. They have to be paid gigs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think about it. Just I like to be home at night if I can.
That's a good answer.
No, it's true. I mean, yeah. So that's it. But I have done Melbourne once.
What's the furthest you've been for a gig? Like there was
New
a
York,
time.
New York Comedy Club.
No, but
Yeah.
okay. So you went across the world specifically to.
It's one of the reasons I went. Yeah.
How was it? How did they compare to us?
Well, again, there's that problem. Everybody was New York Jew. You know, they all. I'm sorry, there's not a TV pub. You know, they're all talking with their little hands flinging about, just like me, and kvetching about all the stuff. But it was good. It went very well. I did with Amanda Gray. She happened to be there one night. She did really well. They asked me back. I think they asked her back too. I don't know.
I love the fact that you cannot just take the limelight without sharing it with your colleagues.
I'm a
That's
lovely,
fucking awesome.
lovely person. And so are all of you. I don't want to take the limelight by myself.
Back in the day when you were starting out, and everyone's desperate for gigs, what was the furthest you'd go to? Like, because these days, you know, they only last 5 minutes, but there's a comedy club on every corner, you know.
I just used to do the Comedy Store and Harold Park Hotel. I didn't even know there were other gigs available. They had a Star Search thing in Melbourne. I went to that. That's
How'd you
pretty much
do?
it. Well, I made it to the final. I mean, they did 900. According to the story, they looked at 900 comics and they took 8 of us down there or something. Wendy Harmer wasn't impressed with me. But other than that, Shane Bourne was on the panel, and some other guy. But no, not. I thought it went okay. I was very nervous, but this guy from Brisbane won.
Do we know who he is?
Yeah, his name's Davo. He won it. He was very good.
Cool.
But it was very cute because he was young. Because we stayed at the Crown Plaza, and you could bring somebody, and he brought his mom. How cute is that?
It's very cute. that guy liked it too.
No, that guy's preventing prostate cancer.
Sydney Credit Caving Testing.
All right. Any final questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. Good luck. A couple of years ago, I was at Oakley, I think, and you came along unannounced, and the person running the room says, "Pete, you want to get up and do 5?" You said yes, and pulled a plastic budgie ladder out of your pocket. How many of those have you bought over the years, and do you carry it everywhere you go?
Yes. I buy them periodically. In fact, I had to make an emergency stop. I swear to God, at Pet Bond the other night. I sat on the last one. This one's really resilient. But you know, when I buy them, I buy like 20. And the lady behind the counter looks at me like I've got a canary with a construction company. And you know, when I used to have a canary, I'd take it out of its cage, and the canary would look at me going, "Who the fuck gave you a gig?" We might edit that one out.
There was another question. Yes, Adil.
Mark always asks this question. If you had all the money in the world, billions and billions, what would you do with it?
Hookers. I don't know.
Because those days when you're not working can
Yeah.
be so long.
It would save using the computer as much as I don't know. I don't think I need any more. The only reason I'd want more money, would be when I travel, I prefer not to travel economy class. That's the only thing. I'm really pretty happy. I could use a new car. Maybe a bigger TV. I guess there are a lot of things to do. No, I really don't need a lot of money. I'm pretty happy with what I got. Because I'm a lovely guy. I mentioned that earlier. Why, were you going to offer me some? Or?
If you like.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call that an interview. Please thank Peter Meisel, who really
And John does a fabulous job of interviewing. He makes this very easy. I did look okay, right? Yeah, no, really, this is very easy. Thank you.
If anyone's interested, I've got a great blog, standanddeliver.blogs.com. If you're not interested, I still have a great blog. And I have a Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Huge round of applause! John Romeo and Peter Meisel! Yeah! What a treat! And he is.